guys, congratulations on Holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
So this is a big cast. You've got a huge ensemble here. What was it like for you guys to work with such a large group of people, and in such a concentrated period of time?
Well, for me, I'm my only regret with this whole thing is that we didn't get to work with every single actor individually and have scenes with everyone because it is such a huge ensemble. But I got an opportunity to, step in on set on days where I wasn't working, when other people were working. And of course, I got an opportunity to work, directly with Dennis and Loretta Devine and our individual, house and our family. Again, it's easy to work when you are working with fantastic seasoned actors. And, a lot of the times I was just taking notes. I've been a huge fan of John C. McGinley since I was a child. And so, getting an opportunity to see him. Wild Hogs is like one of my favorite movies. I haven't told him that story now. And his character is my favorite. But getting an opportunity to just kind of see how your idols work was a huge gift for me.
For you two, a little bit more of the veterans of the group, what was it like to have all these young folk around and seeing this next generation come up?
Well, I'm just going to repeat something that John C. said earlier. They were incredibly well prepared, and
you said it.
And just well taught. I mean, and we had a situation where we couldn't go back and forth to our trailers because I think that really diffuses the energy. And so what we did in each of our households, we just all sat there, and they shoot in certain parts of the house and you'd be in the holding area and you're still vibing on what it is you're doing. So we became a family, and once you have that family energy, it just permeates the whole set.
And now he's stuck with me.
Yeah, forever.
So for each of you, did you have like a particular scene that spoke to you through the series, that something that was, for you that resonated particularly?
I have a dear friend who you guys may know, Keith David, and Keith is also a great acting teacher, as well as being one of the greatest actors on the planet. And he always talks about reducing the profundity of the lie. And what he means is, if sometimes familiarity can breed contempt, but sometimes familiarity can create an honest bond, so you don't have to act as much. And in doing so, you reduce the profundity of the lie. And Virginia Madsen and I have been friends since we did Highlander 2 together in Buenos Aires with Sean Connery and Chris Lambert, probably more than 30 years ago. And so we were down there together. And as Denny will tell you, when you're on a location in a faraway place, you tend to circle the wagons, and the ensemble, by virtue of being together in a faraway place, melds quicker. And that was the case with Virginia, and we became very dear friends down there. And then all of a sudden, we were together up in Vancouver as husband and wife, and by virtue of that familiarity, you could reduce the profundity of the lie. And Virginia and I just kind of fell into where we left off years ago. And the lens is an X-ray machine, and it suffers that as the truth. And it was our truth. So when we got to play scenes together, we were telling the truth. And that's really lovely. And it's born out of familiarity and being vulnerable enough to tell you my truth, because I know you, and we've been around the world together. And that's where stuff starts to crackle and resonate. And that was my experience with Virginia.
I'm stealing everything you just said. Reduce the profundity of the lie. All right, here we go.
That's Keith's truth.
God, that's good.
But the thing is also being on set together, as a family. And even when the cameras are down and they're redoing the scene and they're lighting it, you're standing outside and you're speaking to the same people that you're doing your scenes with. And we're all getting to know each other more and more and more and more and more. And sometimes using those nuances that we're getting from them, in a break where we're having a coffee and a finger sandwich, you bring that into the scene.
100%.
And so that was the beauty of this, because we didn't have time to go back and forth to our trailers because it was like a mile and a half away. So, and you had 10 minutes or, half an hour before your scene was going to be shot. it didn't make sense to go back, you know, so you just sort of hung out. And that's what,
So finally, what do you hope the audience walks away from the experience of watching the series? What's the takeaway for you each individually?
Finding unity no matter what. You know, this story overall, and I think the Holidaze is about coming together at all costs. One of my favorite comedians said a few years ago, he said, you know, as you get older and you see your parents 2 or 3 times a year for the holidays, think about the fact that within a 15 or 20 year span, you have about 30 to 45 times to see your parents ever again. And me, I lost my brother at 30 years old, so I had no idea I was gonna have such a limited amount of Christmases together. And we had been in a feud with each other for about 2 years and didn't see each other. And I finally got to see him. I ran into him at the mall in Miami at one point the day before Christmas, and he threw his arms around me. I didn't know that was going to be the last time that I saw him. That was our last Christmas together. He died 3 months later. And so I think, you know, no matter what your differences are, find a way to still be family at the end of the day, because these are the people that God put the same blood in, you know, as you. So
that's very interesting. I didn't know that story about you.
Nor I.
Because I lost my brother at 22.
Oh, wow.
So he's the reason I'm here, you know, because it was a deathbed conversation. And what he said was, you know, tomorrow's not promised. So whatever you got to do, you got to take care of it today. And so that's what I do. I try to live to the fullest every day.
Do you have any final thoughts?
I thought it was thrilling to be affiliated with the Hallmark brand, and the Hallmark brand is come on into the Holidaze, and to kidnap something Denny said earlier is that it's a big hug. There's a hug awaiting you, and how lovely. There's no hugs awaiting anybody anywhere,
Right.
but there is in this content, and whether it was inadvertent or on purpose, there's a hug waiting for you. How lovely.
Yeah. And with this particular series, it's different as a departure for Hallmark because it has a little bit more edge to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's growing into the times that we're in. It's still a hug, but it's not as quite as saccharine as people might think it is. It's sweet, but it's not saccharine.
Right.
And it's got, you know, it's got an age. It's got some basil in there. It's got some rosemary.
Jesus Christ.
You know?
Yeah, Daddy.
What is going on today? I'm writing all this down.
But you know, so you know, what I'm saying is it's got flavor, and I think that's what the audience is going to, you know, love and gravitate to.
That's certainly what I responded to when I first read the script.
Yeah.
Was the nuances, the flavors, for sure.
Saccharine.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. I think that's a beautiful note to end on. We hope everyone gets a chance to see Holidaze.
I hope
Right on. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All the best.
Thanks for watching the You Interview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, we have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.